Welcome to the Sound of Movement podcast, everyone, and our first live stream to YouTube. We're having some issues with the Facebook app, and we are going to be answering some really amazing questions from our tribe on the UMS Movement Mastermind Facebook group. We've got a really good Q&A coming at you today. Anybody watching live on YouTube, get some questions in. We're going to answer them.
We are the gym that teaches people how to move instead of just exercise, because we believe that health is about performance, not just body image.
Like Vasquez said in Aliens, let's rock. If you're new to the tribe, we got Rich behind the mix. Phil is next to me, and across the table is Rad. My name is Yanni Baumeister, and we are Unity Gym, experts at turning driven people into athletes. This episode is brought to you by the Unify Movement System, the only online program effectively balancing strength, flexibility, and fitness so you can unleash your inner athlete. Get daily coaching by us, plus our epic Foundations Prep program and revolutionary structural balance blueprint to create your ideal program and optimize your performance. As a valued listener, use the link in the description to get your first month free, or a subscriber. Now, before we get started, we want to send a big warm welcome out to our UMS Movement Mastermind tribe. Usually we would be streaming live there. We're answering some questions from there. Remember, anyone can join that group for free. So if you are catching the stream live on YouTube, jump over, search for UMS Movement Mastermind on Facebook and join the group. Lastly, big shout out to you guys, our YouTube athletes catching us live today. This is a first. Hit the like button and support the channel. And of course, guys, if you like what you hear today and see, subscribe. How are we all today, tribe?
Yeah, really good. Really good.
This is pretty weird using masks on a podcast.
It's very weird. I'm struggling to I can't breathe, man. No, it's just weird. The sound doesn't come out properly. You can hear it.
Yeah, so if we sound a little different on the podcast today, guys, and you can't see the stream, we're actually all wearing masks because Sydney here in Australia is having another pandemic outbreak of the Delta strand of the coronavirus, and we've been forced to wear masks, to mask up indoors, even while we're on the podcast. Otherwise, we're breaking the law. So this is us. This is us masked up and sounding muffled.
Yep, different look for us, but still happy that we can come in at all. And it's the New South Wales government hasn't done a lockdown. They're trying to keep everything open, and a nice benefit of that is we get to do the podcast. So,
absolutely,
That's
absolutely,
right.
and we will continue to do so while we can. Hey, we got Lee Clemens saying hi. Yeah, hit us up if you're on the live stream. We're actually quite excited. We're actually quite excited about going live to YouTube. This is something that Phil's been pestering me about for a while. So if you guys want to see more of us live streaming over here on YouTube, then hit us up in the comments. Let us know, and let us know who you are, where you're tuning in from, so we can send you some love and give you a shout out. We're going to flick through a bunch of questions that we've been asked on our mastermind group. We've got one from Randall Starr, who's a long-time listener. A couple of newbies as well, Fabrice Alf, Dejuan Isaacs. Now, I know that Dejuan, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, brother, came from the YouTube channel, so that's kind of cool. And he actually sent me an email. We got Rebecca Seela, and Adonis Beale. What a name, Adonis Beale. I hope that's your real name. So we got a bit of a mix here, but there's a consistency about these questions, and we thought we could add some real value because it's also going to allow us to share our experience and some big lessons we've learnt that we've noticed have now we've seen it for enough time. We've done enough research that we've seen a real consistency in the results that this one thing is producing, which is the evolution of your workout. And for us, the evolution of our workouts is very much about consistency. How can we fit flexibility, strength, and fitness into a workout that is efficient? Sorry, not consistency, efficiency. Is that what I said?
You said consistency.
Yeah, I meant efficiency. I meant efficiency. How can we fit the three really important components into a workout in balance and make it so that when people do a 60-minute workout, they're going to address all three of those areas which optimize athletic performance: strength, flexibility, and fitness. And now we've done this for a couple of years at Unity Gym, and it worked so well. And we always test everything we do at Unity Gym, and then we roll it out with our online tribe. And we've recently rolled out the new format of our workouts on the online tribe, and the results are really, really good. The feedback so far is phenomenal, and it's all good. We've got someone here saying, "Hi, Phil, sound is not as loud."
Yeah, Richard's on it.
Oh, cool.
And
cool,
yeah,
awesome.
maybe I've just got a high quality mask that's really protecting me. So getting that sound in.
Phil does talk quite quietly. Shout out to Michael P. Shout out to Simon. Thank you for giving us that feedback. So why don't we hit this off, Rad?
Yeah, look, it's. I want to frame this a little bit more as to what you've said. For anybody that's listening, that's not going to listen to the whole live stream, we have completely revamped the UMS in response to everything that we're going to be talking about now. The UMS, if anybody watched the at-home workouts where they were live streamed in a follow-along format, that's exactly what the UMS is now. They take less than 1 hour. They take about 56 minutes, 57 minutes. And you do a 10-minute mobility warm-up, then you do 30 minutes of strength and flexibility training, 1-to-1 ratio, then you do a 16-minute supplementary circuit at the end. If you haven't checked it out, go over, use the link that I just posted, get a 30-day free trial and see what the fuss is all about. I guarantee you, in the very least, it's going to revolutionize your training. I guarantee that. Now, let's get started. So Randall Starr, he's asked a good question. I can't get as passionate with my talking with this. Honestly, every time I go to take a breath, I'm like...
It's going to take a little bit of getting used to, yeah.
Yeah, I'm starting to believe the conspiracy theorists now that we're not, these masks are slowly killing us and stuff. So Randall Starr has said...
He went there.
said, "Morning, after 15 months or so, I will head back to the gym. However, due to available hours, I believe I will continue to do the at-home workouts Monday to Friday. What I would like feedback on is how to program a Saturday weight program into this. My first thought is to concentrate on Saturday the compound lifts, chest press, deadlift and squats, tossing in lat pull downs and such when I can. I would also be able to add in more handstand masterclass time with a frickin' mat," he said. Does this make sense, or any other suggestions to use the single gym day? Well, Randall, at the start of your post here, you're saying after 15 months or so, I will head back to the gym. Brother, it is time to evolve your training, man. It is time to evolve beyond what you've been doing for the last 15 months, which is repeating the same 4 phases at best of the at-home workouts, and try the UMS. Try it for 30 days. If you don't like it, cancel before you finish, and you won't pay a cent. If you don't like it, you're going to learn. I guarantee you'll learn what to do in the gym. You'll know exactly what to do. Is that truth? Not?
Well,
I mean,
yeah, absolutely. I'm desperately trying to steer Rad away from this just being a bloody sales pitch for our online coaching.
Yeah, but the truth is, we've created this thing in response to these questions to help people with this stuff, So that's why I'm saying it, We're throwing it out there, and that's why we do this 30-day free trial, so that anybody can just go, oh, let's see what all the fuss is about and give it a try. But
first of all, very specifically to Randall's question here, where he says, my first thought is to concentrate on Saturday the compound lifts, chest press, deadlift and squats, tossing in lat pull downs and such when I can. I'm a big believer that lat pull down should be an auxiliary exercise that you use to complement your chin ups. Unless, even if you can't do chin-ups, I would be following our protocol of bridging that gap with eccentrics and things like that, because lat pull-down, there is zero carryover to pull-ups, whereas pull-ups, there is a massive carryover to lat pull-down, if that makes sense. And so, yeah, I would always, as the primary, be using a variation of a chin-up or a pull-up. But I agree with Rad. using the at-home format. But this is the cool thing about the UMS. And when we created the at-home workouts, when we all originally went into lockdown last year, we just took the format from UMS, which is the Monday to Friday workout, and then adapted it to using no equipment. And so it is really easy to go back the other way and start using weights. But what I gathered from your question, and the reason why I put this on top of the pile, was that the most important thing I got here is due to my time constraints. After I want to continue doing the at-home workouts Monday to Friday, and then just add equipment. But that's the whole point of why we re-released our UMS and why we've worked so hard over the last 24 months to systemize it and make it efficient. What Rad's saying is absolutely right. It's about just creating that efficiency model. And if you've seen, everyone on here on YouTube can see the at-home workout format because it's up live for free. You can go and watch. I think the whole first week is available.
Phase 3.
Actually,
right?
phase 3.
It's phase 3.
Yeah, it's phase 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the third
There's a whole
month.
week of phase 3.
And that gives you an idea of how we combine everything. The magic in the UMS is the combination of strength and flexibility exercises married together in a way that they are in harmony. They don't disrupt one another, and that's quite hard to do. And I think that leads us to I want to skip over to Dujuan's question here, where he sort of hit me up personally via email to ask me to help him fit in stretching. He's got a personal trainer who's given him an exercise program that has zero stretching. And this is the norm. Most people don't, it's like flexibility training is something different that you do external to your
I think it comes back to
exercise.
that efficiency side of things. When you look at personal trainers who are like, oh, I want to get in all these exercises because they have these body transformation goals that they're trying to hit. And then, if you're thinking about then trying to program flexibility on top of that in the conventional sort of way, then often that will just be like too much time and they won't do it. But the way that you guys have developed your program so that you have that 1-to-1 ratio where you're using your rest periods in a really intelligent way by having that inbuilt stretching as part of the rest periods, that's the big difference. So,
yeah, and I will to be very, very clear. And God, I hope I'm not making a mess of your name. How would you guys pronounce it? Dujuan, or is it a silent D or a silent J?
Dwan.
Dwan.
I'd say Dwan.
Dwan Isaacs.
Call him DJ. He's called himself DJ.
Yeah. Okay. DJ. Yeah. DJ. Okay. DJ. First and foremost, no, I won't tell you how to fit flexibility into your personal trainer's program because the program is shit. And what's most likely going to happen is, and I'm going to throw some stones here, if we give you stretches, the personal trainer's probably going to come back to you and go, oh, don't do that, you don't have time, or not see the effectiveness of it. What I would strongly advise you do is to go over to our YouTube channel and search for those at-home workouts and have a look how we've put it together there. It's free. You don't have to pay anything. And I guarantee you that workout will probably be better than what you're already doing. And we're not even using equipment. We're just using body weight. But most personal trainers, we've spent a collective sort of 60 years of experience and knowledge putting what we do together. And it's happened over the period of about sort of 10 years that we've been developing this. And it's come from our mistakes. And it's not one of us that does the work, it's collective. We've got it to a point, and then we've had feedback from Phil and our physios here who've helped us tweak things and make it better. And it's a real mastermind concept coming into practice here that creates
also
this.
Working with the guinea pigs that we've got in the gym here, where you can test
absolutely.
things out.
Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of clients who put their trust and faith in us that turn up, and our online tribe as well, and so I'm not going to give, I'm not going to, and it sounds harsh, but I'm not going to give you the magic sauce to sprinkle over a really poorly put together meal, because it's not going to make it taste any better. You need to start cooking a good meal from the very base.
So on board for this metaphor. Love it. Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Start with the right ingredients.
Start with the right ingredients, and then build up from there. It's it's very, very hard to polish a turd. And I know I'm being really, really harsh, but it's the truth. We didn't know what we didn't know 10 years ago, and none of us on our own would know what we know now. It's that collective group, and I just don't think you can put a price on that. And if you want to learn how we do it, go and look at those at-home workouts or watch our YouTube videos and see how we integrate this stuff together, And then if you really want to do it and sink your teeth in, then jump in and we give everyone a free 30-day trial of the coaching anyway, so you can try it and literally do it. Become part of our online coaching tribe and our mastermind, because our mastermind is a collective of not just the 4 of us and Nilesh 5 and Will 6 out there, who's our gym manager. It's our whole tribe. We're constantly getting feedback, So essentially, when you do that and you jump in and you join the group, you become part of that mastermind collective. It's a very, very powerful thing. So, anyone out there who sends me an email and says, "Hey, can you have a look at my program and show me how to fit stretching in?" The answer is always going to be no, because I'm not. I feel like I'm being asked a lot of the time to polish a turd, and it's always going to be a turd. It's very hard to do.
Yeah, but and another way to look at it is the answer would be, we've already done that for you, but that's what our program is. And we don't have, as soon as you go to a international audience like what we do here with all our online stuff, there's more requests from people to do things like what you're saying than what we can handle. We just can't do it. We wouldn't get anything done if what we did was respond to people's emails and questions like this and just take the time to really give them very specific answers, which is why we do these podcasts, is why we do our live shows, but much more importantly, it's why we created the online coaching group for the UMS subscribers, for the people that are willing to really go for it with what we do. We go above and beyond to answer questions like this very, very specifically. So, yeah.
Yeah. That's
all right,
awesome.
are we going?
Fabrice.
So we're going back. Okay,
Fabrice.
So Fabrice has said, "Hi guys, I hope everyone's fine. I have a question. I've done 18-minute stretching routine for some time, and I moved on to V2, the 18-minute mobility routine. But I have to admit I missed some of the moves from V1. So is it okay to make my own mix between V1 and V2, even to merge them, or will it be too much or counterproductive? Would it be better to alternate? Thanks."
This is a great question.
Yeah, and you absolutely cannot change anything that we write for you. It is strictly forbidden to do anything, to use any creative thinking or anything.
Okay. Just quickly jump in and say you're joking, so that we didn't lose
course,
half our audience.
Of course I'm joking. And my answer to this, I read a very short answer, and Yanni and Phil can put their thoughts in. My answer was, of course, bro, training is meant to evolve. If you looked at, Yanni, the 18-minute stretching routine came from a time when Yanni and I came together to create basically a daily stretching routine that people could do. And we all did it for maybe 6 months every day, probably as a teacher. When I was teaching classes, I did that thing about 4 or 5 times a day for maybe even 6 to 12 months before we evolved it to something else, then something else, then something else. If you look at what we do now, individually, we all do our own versions of the 18-minute stretching routine, because the idea is it's not just about what you like and what you find value in. It's about learning about your body. And I've got areas of my body that stiffen up overnight that don't happen to Yanni. Yanni's got a completely different body to me, and so, my hip flexors and my lower back are my real issues. Yanni has different areas. Yanni has more issues with his hamstrings and adductors than I do. So
I think that Fabrice is right in that zone where you've got some great results from a pre-made program where it gives you a lot of good guidance, some really good principles to follow along with your own training, and then from version 1 to version 2 there's a logical progression. And so that's amazing, and it gets you, a really long way. But when it comes to hitting your goals for each particular person, your own specific needs for a sport or for your body or for, a movement goal that you want, then a pre-made program that is very much generalized like this isn't necessarily going to have each of the specificity elements that gets you to that spot. And part of that is also personal preference. Like if there are just certain exercises you love doing and that you will keep you engaged in your training, then that's a variable that you need to keep in mind. And so again, just to go on to why we've been working so hard on the online side of things to create groups like the Movement Mastermind and the UMS online coaching, is it's all about those places where then you can be in an environment where people help you learn how to use that knowledge you've gained from your from the past programs to build a program that will get you to exactly the goal that you want to achieve. So
yeah, 100%.
I think you're in that transition zone, Fabrice, where you're just about to start learning the valuable lessons and maybe making some mistakes along the way, but it's all about taking the knowledge you've learned and building.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just trying to figure out who Kate Jenkins is.
It's Craig.
It's Craig, of course. Craig
Go
Jenkins.
Craig.
Go Craig.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I agree.
My wife's.
I agree 100%. And I think, hey, listen, before I go on, I want everyone to take out their index finger who's watching the stream and smash that like button just quickly. We got a bunch of people on the live. We've got a bunch of people on the live, and we've only got 6 likes. Surely we can do better than that.
Top screen. Oh.
8. Come on.
Is it going 8? Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
We
Let's
need
get it up.
16.
Double.
Oh, look at this. It's crank it up. See
It's
that?
cranking.
One
Smash
click,
it.
everybody. One
Smash
click.
it.
I
That's
told
it.
you my YouTube people would.
That's right,
have
mate.
us
You
on.
guys are killing it. I think this might be a trend. We might be shifting over to YouTube. Anyway, I agree 100%. I just recently we published on YouTube a mobility routine that I'm using at the moment to warm up for lower body workouts. And thank you, Randeep. Very much appreciate it. The smashing.
Yeah, thanks, bro.
And that is that's an evolution of a warm-up routine that we do and teach here in the gym, and it's giving me amazing results. And I won't do that forever. I'll use it until I find something else that feels really, really good and helps me, And you guys can check that out. What do you call it? You guys can check that routine out on the YouTube channel.
Yeah, we just posted it
gone
last
up.
week.
Yep,
Yanni's,
yep.
that's one of Yanni's little
What's this
little
dude
routines.
that's just said here? Masks make me sick. What the F?
Continue on. Don't worry about it.
I can't even see it.
Anyway, glad to hear that Kate's shoulders are doing well. Craig, good to get that updates. Been
Yeah,
two
right.
of my online physio clients, so
Oh,
good
awesome.
glad to hear
How
things
good's that?
going well.
Yeah, how
over
good's
in
that?
Yeah,
Western
very good.
Australia.
All right, so are we on to our next question? Is that what we're doing?
The next question
Rebecca?
is Rebecca. Yeah, that's right.
Rebecca Saylor has said, "Hi, new to the group, loving all the advice and vids. I'm looking for links."
I
or
wanted to leave this one till the end, actually.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, we'll leave
Go
that to the
to
end.
Adonis Beale first.
Adonis Beale. Okay,
This is
do you
a
want
good
to
one for
read
you,
that
Rad.
one?
I'll read the question and then you can dive in first.
Right.
Adonis has said, "Hey there all, if I am training in martial arts 4 times a week, what is an optimal way to include the foundation program without overtraining?" Just very quickly, because I think, Brad, you missed the start of the show, brother, and your comment was very offensive, but it's illegal for us right now to be here without masks. We have a mask mandate, so just to keep you up to date.
I can't even see his comment.
It was turned off.
Okay.
He'll be banned from the channel shortly. Dickhead. Okay, Adonis, let's go.
Okay, so you read the question?
Nope. Hey there all. If I am training in martial arts 4 times a week, what is an optimal way to include the foundation program without overtraining? Thank you.
So there's a couple of different ways to approach this, and it's a really good question. The shortest answer that I would give, and I'll before I go deeper, I'd love a yes, no from you guys if you agree with it or not. Prioritize the thing that's most important to you. So that's something that a lot of people really mix up when they say, "Hey, I do martial arts and I want to do some UMS training. How do I do it?" The easiest answer is figure out what matters more to you, right? Would you guys agree with that?
Yeah.
And then, because then then that makes it much easier to figure out how you work it into your schedule. you really have to make that distinction. Which one of these things is the most important thing for me? And there's no right or wrong answer to that at all. You know, you can get a great result by prioritizing UMS and doing martial arts when you can, and you can get a great result doing the opposite. So that's the first thing. Now, the next thing is you've said you're training martial arts 4 days a week. What's an optimal way to include the Foundations program? It's really hard for me to answer this very specifically without you saying I have this much availability, because I don't know if you can only train 2 days a week in the UMS or if you can train I don't understand what your availability is. The perfect answer would be you train with the UMS. So let's presume that martial arts is your priority. I'm going to guess that, and you're doing UMS to be better at martial arts. Then you can train the UMS either 4, 5 or 6 days a week, just the way it's designed, but you just do it at a maximal effort. So you do it in a way where you don't go into your martial arts classes feeling like you're really fatigued and unable to train properly because of the UMS training that you already did. And then the only other thing that I'd say is you either train at opposite ends of the day, so you do 2 training sessions a day, or you do your UMS training after your martial arts training, because I guarantee you, if you do your UMS training and then go straight into martial arts training, you're not going to be doing great at martial arts.
Yeah, I'm just so stoked that this is someone who has identified that adding more exercises can lead to overtraining, and I think that's a drum that we've done a lot of beating on the podcast over the last couple of years, which is that it's a really good idea to try and supplement your training, but more is not always better. So definitely stoked that you've identified that and you're trying to find a way to manage that. But I think Rad's that spot on there about just choosing what your priorities are, and then in doing that, trying to not let your not overload and try and excel at both at once. Like, you've got to sort of have your priority where you really put all your effort in, and then maybe just paring it a little bit back, but kind of keeping along maintenance for your strength.
Yeah, absolutely.
You got anything you want to add, Yanni?
No, I just think that it's. I really love when someone has a skill or a discipline, martial arts, a sport, rock climbing, whatever it is, CrossFit, calisthenics. We do here at Unity now because we're all old farts and we can't play footy anymore, or box or whatever. But it's really, I think, a really great a great thing to have some passion that you use to express your strength, your skill, your physical attributes, and I love, like, we really do bang the drum of separating training and competition, and I would call, martial arts sort of blurs the lines a little bit because you do a lot of training for martial arts and then you can go and compete. But, your strength training, UMS, is just a part of your training to support your martial art or to support your sport, and it's very important that you you understand how to fit it all together, because the last thing you want to do is start training in the gym lifting weights and do it in a way that compromises your passion, your sport, and that requires, again, this sort of coaching, being able to ask these questions, bounce ideas off people that have done it before, understand the load principles in the body and how that sort of works. It's just another really invaluable.
There's one big bit of advice that I'd have, which is, try and treat your martial arts as if you were, playing like a season of football. You're going to have times that you're needing to peak, and then there are going to be times where maybe you take a bit of time off. Like it's with these individual sports, which I know with martial arts and having seen the way that Rad goes about it, like there's this kind of obsession level where it can be just like you push all the time and you never stop pushing on martial arts because you're always trying to hit these next sort of objective kind of goals. But trying to bring in times of the year where maybe you take like a bit of time off so that you can really then ramp up your strength, really ramp up your flexibility training, so you can actually make more progress overall. Because often, as Rad's talked about with his progression through flexibility and calisthenics goals, like there are certain raw strength and flexibility requirements you need to be able to do certain moves, and if you just try and keep bashing your head against a brick wall, or a fist in this case, or a shin in martial arts, then you might not get there. But scheduling in like an off season where maybe you're just doing a little bit less martial arts and you can really bring in a bit more training, so ideally moving past the foundations program into the progressions and into the UMS, then you're going to get a better long-term result. And that's all about thinking about what are your actual goals. Are you just doing martial arts because you love it and you just want to do it 4 times a week because it makes you happy, or do you want to hit these certain performance goals? And it's that like constant like you don't have to do the same thing and you don't have to have the same passion at every moment of the year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and it's it's an important thing. Like, I wish that I knew the UMS when I was right in the thick of my wushu training. I really do, because I just didn't understand how strength and flexibility, when done together the way that we do it, how that complements wushu training. Like, I can kick harder and higher and with less restriction in my body now than I could at the peak of my martial arts training, and I haven't practiced kicking for 10 years.
Yeah.
And I mean that. And
Yeah.
there's a couple of videos on YouTube of me where we just said, oh, let's do a video where we show how to kick. And I hadn't kicked for 8 or 9 years when I did that. And we had so many people commenting saying, oh my God, can you make more videos about this? I'm doing martial arts and I'm going for my second Dan and I'd love to blah, 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 blah. And it's because I'm now strong and flexible. And I didn't have that when I did martial arts. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I experienced that myself with my boxing, and went back and tried to hit the heavy bag and broke my bloody hand.
And I also think, honestly,
Too strong.
like this whole thing, you know, how do I include the foundations program? The way that I answered it, where I said that the best thing about the new UMS is that the workouts take less than an hour. That's one of the most important things when you do something like martial arts or anything. You have to be able to look at what you want to do and know that you're going to get it done in a certain amount of time, because you just can't commit that much more time. And if you write all this stuff down that you're going to do, but then every time you try and do the workout, you don't get through it all. For me, that was a really frustrating experience. I got really frustrated with that. So anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so
Last question before we do. Big shout out to Dave Clark. Great to see you on the live stream again, brother. It's definitely poignant that we got you here and we're talking about martial arts.
Yeah. So
very quickly first, before we answer Rebecca's question, I want to answer Omar's comment here. Omar Kamal said, is there any free training programs? Now, Omar, you will most likely hear this if you do watch it and get this far. You will be on the UMS Movement Mastermind Facebook group. Jump over here to our YouTube channel, and there are heaps of free
there's all
workouts.
these links in every video for free.
Heaps of free workouts.
Heaps.
No, just watch the videos.
Yeah, watch the videos.
My God.
No, true.
And in response to Rebecca Sealer's question.
Well, we haven't asked the question. She said, I'm looking for links or an easy place to visit, website, etc., to purchase workouts. Are they all in one spot on the Facebook page? Thanks, and looking forward to more motivation and education. They are all in one spot, but it's not on the Facebook page, and I'm just going to link it here right now in the comments.
And we will make sure that we link it in the description to this as well.
It's unitygym.net/programs.
Yeah, there you go.
That's it, unitygym.net/programs.
Well, this has
That's it.
been a blast.
This has been great. I think
masked up. And,
I'm getting a feeling like this is where we're going to be next week as well, because we had a lot of really great engagement, and it looks like the tribe has spoken. So we'll see you guys here next week on Friday at 11 a.m. Sydney time.
Sounds good. We will try and figure out a way of streaming to both.
We'll try, but we can still publish this to the UMS Movement Mastermind Facebook group anyway, and you know, we're going to go where the people are calling us. So looks like they're calling us here.
Well, there's 45,000 people in here and only
That's
4,000 people in the other group. So
we got to get that other group.
We're going to we got to get that other group going.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We have very much enjoyed this. Even Knobnuts' comment about our masks and masculinity.
Which I don't think showed up for anyone who was watching.
No, we didn't let it show up. It was a really stupid comment. Someone who was an anti-masker, probably an anti-cover, probably a conspiracy theorist driver. Anyway,
have a great day, guys.
We enjoyed all of your company. We loved being on the YouTube channel today. We will be back here next week, same time, same place. And thank you very much, Phil, for joining us today.
See you again in 2 weeks.
See you soon, everyone.
See you guys.
Bye.
Health is about performance, not just body image.
You better be willing to accept what you're going to have to do to get there.
We'll start focusing on movement goals, strength goals, flexibility goals.
When you nail that skill, it's there forever.
The body image goal doesn't get you that
It's the
far.
consistency and frequency that's going to get you there. It's not the intensity.
There's no shortcuts to mastery and movement. Destination doesn't change overnight, but your direction will.
The gym is not the place to beat up the body that you hate. It's the place to build the body that you love.
We are the gym that teaches people how to move instead of just exercise because we believe that health is about performance, not just body image.